The big alien ship moved slowly across Earth's sky. It was huge and dark, blocking the sun as it went. Smaller ships flew around it like bees around their queen. People looked up with fear in their eyes. Commander Zarthak stood tall on his ship. His gray skin shined under the lights of the control room. His 4 yellow eyes blinked as he watched the screens showing Earth below. "Humans are weak," he said to his officers. "Their weapons are simple. Their ships are slow. This will be an easy victory for the Vexaran Empire." His second-in-command, Officer Drell, nodded. "Yes, Commander. Our scans show they have only basic space defense systems, nothing that can hurt our ships." Zarthak smiled, showing his sharp teeth. "Begin the attack. Target their military bases first." On Earth, Major Alex Morgan ran through the halls of Luna Base on the moon. Alarms rang loudly. Red lights flashed on the walls. He pushed past people rushing to their stations. "Status report," he yelled as he entered the command center. A young officer looked up from her screen. Her face was pale. "Sir, alien ships are attacking all major cities. Our weapons barely hurt them. Washington is under heavy fire. London, too. Beijing has already fallen." Alex slammed his fist on the table. "What about our space fleet?" "Destroyed, sir. The aliens took them out in the first wave." Alex looked at the big screen on the wall. It showed Earth with red dots where attacks were happening. There were too many red dots. "Send out the emergency signal," he ordered. The officer pressed a series of buttons. "Signal sent, sir." All across Earth, people's phones made a strange noise. A message appeared. "Operation Sanctuary now active." This is not a drill. In New York, Lisa Nguyen was teaching chemistry when all the phones in her classroom buzzed at once. She read the message and her face became serious. "Class, put your books away. Follow me now," she said calmly. The students looked confused but did as she said. Lisa led them to the school buses waiting outside. Other teachers were doing the same thing with their classes. "Where are we going, Ms. Nguyen?" asked one boy. "Somewhere safe," Lisa answered. "Don't worry. We've planned for this." In a small town in Ohio, John Rivera kissed his wife goodbye at their front door. "Take care of them," his wife said, eyes wet with tears. "I will," John promised. "You stay safe too. Remember the plan." He turned to the school bus filled with children, including his own son and daughter. As an Army colonel, he would lead them to Sanctuary Site Delta, hidden deep in the mountains. As buses all over the world filled with children drove away from cities, Commander Zarthak watched the humans surrender one by one. "Commander," Officer Drell said with confusion in his voice, "our ground troops report something strange. They can't find many young humans." "What do you mean?" Zarthak asked. "The small ones, the offspring. They're not in the homes or the learning centers. Our troops find mostly adult humans." Zarthak waved his hand. "They're hiding, obviously. Find them." On his command ship high above Earth, Zarthak didn't know that Operation Sanctuary was working perfectly. While his troops took over empty schools and playgrounds, millions of children were already moving to secret locations deep underground, high in mountains, or hidden in forests. In these safe places, teachers like Lisa Nguyen and soldiers like Colonel Rivera would protect them. They would teach them, and someday they would help them take back their world. But for now, Earth seemed to surrender. Zarthak was pleased. He didn't understand yet that the real war was just beginning. Lieutenant Samantha Cole drove the school bus carefully along the narrow mountain road. 28 children sat quietly behind her. Some of the younger ones cried softly. The older ones tried to look brave, but their eyes showed fear. "Are we almost there, Lieutenant?" asked Eddie, a 12-year-old boy who sat right behind her. "Almost," Samantha said with a smile. She didn't feel. Just another hour. The bus was part of a long line of vehicles moving slowly through the Appalachian Mountains. Cars, trucks, and more buses followed the same path. All of them carried children away from the cities now controlled by aliens. Samantha checked her map again. Sanctuary Site Bravo was hidden inside an old coal mine. The entrance looked like it had been closed for years, but behind the fake rocks was a door to an underground city built for this very day. Back in what used to be Washington, D.C., Commander Zarthak walked through the White House. Human soldiers stood with their hands up as Vexaran troops searched the building. "Where is your leader?" Zarthak asked a man in a suit. "The president was moved to a secure location before your attack," the man said. Zarthak made an angry sound. "And the young ones? Where are all the children?" The man's face stayed calm. "I don't know what you mean." Zarthak hit the wall with his fist, leaving a dent in the wood. "Your people are hiding something. We've taken over 12 major cities, but we find almost no humans under the age of 16. Where are they?" The man said nothing. Miles away, Colonel John Rivera stood at the entrance of Sanctuary Site Delta, watching as buses arrived one after another. Children of all ages stepped off, carrying small bags with their belongings. "How many more are we expecting?" asked Dr. Karen Phillips, who stood next to him. John checked his tablet. 10 more buses today. Another 15 tomorrow. We'll have almost 8,000 children here by the end of the week." Karen nodded. "The classrooms are ready. The living spaces too. We can start lessons tomorrow." John looked at her. "Remember, not just regular school. They need to learn about the Vexarans too." "I know," Karen said. "The special curriculum is prepared. Language, technology, biology, weaknesses, everything we know about them." Inside the mountain, Sanctuary Site Delta was huge. It had bedrooms, kitchens, classrooms, medical areas, and even places to play. Scientists had spent years building it in secret, hoping it would never be needed. Now it was home to thousands of children and their adult protectors. In space, Commander Eliza Ward floated in the hidden space station called Watchpoint. It was small and dark to avoid being seen by alien ships. Through special equipment, she listened to the Vexarans' communications. "They're still searching for the children," she told her team. "They don't understand yet." Her second-in-command, Ben Foster, looked worried. "How long before they find one of the sanctuary sites?" "We have to make sure they don't," Eliza said. "That's our job." In his ship, Zarthak met with his science officer, a thin Vexaran named Mevlak. "Tell me about human young," Zarthak ordered. Mevlak showed images on a screen. "Humans have few offspring compared to us, usually 1 or 2 per female. They grow slowly, taking about 18 years to reach maturity." "Why would they hide them?" Zarthak asked. "Unclear," Mevlak said. "In our culture, young must prove themselves or perish. We produce many, knowing most will not survive. Humans are different. They protect their young fiercely." Zarthak looked at the image of a human family. "Find them. Something isn't right about this easy victory." As night fell across Earth, millions of children went to sleep in sanctuary sites around the world. And millions of parents in occupied cities looked up at the alien ships, knowing their sacrifice had one purpose: to give their children a future. The hidden war had begun. 3 months had passed since the Vexarans took over Earth. Lissa Nguyen wiped sweat from her face as she cleaned the floor of the alien headquarters in Chicago. Before the invasion, she taught chemistry. Now she was a cleaner, but this job was perfect for her new mission. The aliens didn't pay much attention to humans who cleaned their buildings. They didn't notice when Lisa took pictures of maps on their walls or listened to their talks. They didn't see her pick up small pieces of their technology that fell on the floor. Every night, Lisa passed what she learned to the human resistance. Small groups of humans still fought back against the aliens. They needed all the information they could get. "Human, clean this room next," a Vexaran officer ordered, pointing to a meeting room. "Yes, sir," Lisa said, keeping her eyes down. She pushed her cleaning cart into the room and began to work. The aliens sat around a table, talking as if she wasn't there. Commander Zarthak wants answers, one said. Where are all the human offspring? Another alien made an angry sound. We've searched everywhere. It's like they vanished. Lisa hid her smile as she cleaned. Miles away, Captain Ryan Cooper and his team moved quietly through the forest. They wore dark clothes and carried weapons they had taken from dead Vexaran soldiers. Their target was an alien supply truck that would pass by soon. Remember, Ryan whispered to his team, we need their communication device. Don't damage it. The 5 humans nodded. They had done this many times in the last 3 months. It quickly, take what they needed, and disappear. When the alien truck came around the corner, Ryan gave the signal. His team jumped out and attacked. The fight was short. Soon, the humans had what they came for. Good work, Ryan said as they disappeared back into the forest. This will help the people at Sanctuary Site Charlie learn more about how the aliens talk to each other. In Sanctuary Site Omega, deep under the Rocky Mountains, 13-year-old Lily Carter sat in a classroom with 20 other children. On the screen in front of them was a picture of Vexaran body parts. Their eyes are sensitive to bright light, Dr. Phillips explained, and they can't hear very high sounds. Both of these can be used against them. Lily raised her hand. Is that why we're learning to make flash bombs and sonic weapons? Yes, Dr. Phillips said. You're all learning different ways to fight back. Some of you are good at science, some at computers, some at fighting. We need all of these skills. In another part of the same sanctuary site, Colonel Rivera got a message from Watchpoint, the hidden space station. Commander Ward says the aliens are getting frustrated, he told his team. They've captured some resistance fighters and are questioning them. Will our people talk? Someone asked. Colonel Rivera shook his head. No, they don't know where the sanctuary sites are. That's how we planned it. Only the people inside each site know where it is. In his command ship, Zarthak stood over a human man tied to a chair. Blood ran down the man's face. Tell me where you've hidden the young ones, Zarthak demanded. Peter Daniels, who used to be a bus driver before the invasion, looked up at the alien. His eyes were not afraid. They're somewhere you'll never find them, Peter said, his voice strong despite his pain. And they're learning exactly how to kill your kind. Zarthak hit him hard, knocking Peter to the floor. Bring in the next prisoner, he shouted. But prisoner after prisoner said the same thing. None of them seemed scared. All of them seemed sure that something was coming, something the aliens wouldn't like. At the end of the day, Zarthak looked out at Earth from his ship window. The humans had surrendered so easily, or had they? For the first time, he felt worried. What were they planning? And why did they all smile when asked about their missing children? Lily Carter looked at the strange tablet in her hands. It was Vexaran technology, taken from an alien soldier by the Resistance. Now she and the other children at Sanctuary Site Omega used it to learn about their enemy. Look at this, she said to her friend Ben. Their ships need this special fuel. If we could find a way to make it bad, their ships wouldn't work. Ben nodded, his eyes serious. At 14, he was one of the older kids in their group. Let's tell Dr. Phillips. She might know how to do that. All across the huge underground shelter, children worked and learned. Some studied normal school subjects like math and reading. Others learned special skills for fighting aliens. The youngest ones, only 5 or 6 years old, still played games. But even their games taught them to be quiet, to hide, to work together. Dr. Karen Phillips walked between groups of students. She checked their work and answered questions. Her tablet showed messages from other sanctuary sites around the world. They all said the same thing. The children were learning fast. Dr. Phillips, Lily called. We found something important about their fuel. Karen smiled and came over to look. Good work, she said after Lily explained. I'll send this to our scientists right away. In space, Commander Eliza Ward floated near a window of Watchpoint Station. From here, she could see Earth and the alien ships around it. Her job was to listen to Vexaran messages and send information to the Resistance and Sanctuary sites. "Commander," called one of her crew, "I'm picking up a new signal. The Vexarans are calling for more ships from their homeworld." Elisa frowned. "That's not good. They must be planning something big." She quickly sent a warning message to Earth. Then she turned to her small team. "We need to work faster on that virus." The virus wasn't a sickness. It was a special computer program they were making to attack Vexaran ships. If it worked, it would shut down their weapons for a short time. On his command ship, Zarthak met with his chief scientist Mevlak. They looked at pictures of Earth children taken before the invasion. "These young ones," Zarthak said. "Why are they so important to humans?" Mevlak pointed to different pictures. "Humans spend many years raising each child. They teach them, protect them, prepare them for adult life. It's very different from our way. Vexarans had many babies at once, like insects. Most died young. Only the strongest lived. Parents didn't care for them much. Could the humans be teaching their hidden young to fight us?" Zarthak asked. "Possibly," Mevlak said. "Human young learn quickly. They're not as strong as adults, but their brains work well." Zarthak stood up. "Find them. Search harder. There must be signs of where they went." In Sanctuary Site Delta, Colonel Rivera got bad news. "The aliens are expanding their search," his officer told him. "They're using better scanning technology. They might find Site Alpha in Australia soon. Tell them to go deeper," Rivera ordered. "Use the lower levels. And send this warning to all other sites." He looked at a map showing all sanctuary locations. There were over 50 major sites around the world, each holding thousands of children. If the aliens found even one, "We need more time," he said. "The children aren't ready yet." That night, while most kids slept, Lily couldn't rest. She snuck out of her bedroom and went to the lab. The Vexaran tablet was still there. She picked it up and began working on a new idea. "I'll make you pay for taking our world," she whispered, thinking of her parents who stayed behind to fight. She didn't know that at that same moment, thousands of other children in sanctuaries around the world were also working, planning, preparing. A new generation of humans was growing up with one clear purpose: to take back their planet from the aliens who thought they had won. Far away on the Vexaran home planet, Supreme Leader Korzath sat on his throne. His skin was darker gray than other Vexarans, showing his age and power. 4 advisors stood before him, waiting nervously. "Tell me about Earth again," Korzath ordered. "Why does General Zarthak ask for more ships when he says the humans have surrendered?" One advisor stepped forward. "Supreme Leader, Zarthak reports that human children are missing. Almost 2 billion of them. He believes they're hidden somewhere, possibly being prepared to fight us." Korzath made a sound like laughter. "Young ones. Fighting. This is foolish. Vexaran young are weak until they prove themselves. Why would human young be different?" "Humans are strange, Supreme Leader," another advisor said. "They protect their young. They don't let them fight each other for food or space like we do." Korzath stood up, his tall body towering over the others. "This concerns me. Send 3 more battle groups to Earth. Tell Zarthak to find these hidden young ones and bring some to me. I want to see them myself." Back on Earth, in Zarthak's command room, the general studied maps and reports. His eyes were tired from looking at screens for days without rest. "Sir," Officer Drell said, entering the room, "our search teams found something in the mountains, a metal door hidden by fake rocks." Zarthak's 4 eyes all focused on Drell. "Show me." The screen showed a mountainside. At first, it looked normal. Then the camera zoomed in on what seemed to be a rock wall. But when a Vexaran soldier touched it, part of it moved. Behind it was a metal door. "Break it open," Zarthak ordered. The video showed soldiers using weapons to cut through the door. Finally, it fell open. The soldiers went inside, their cameras showing a long tunnel leading deep into the mountain. "We found one of their hiding places," Zarthak said. his voice excited. "Follow that tunnel." The soldiers walked for almost an hour, going down and down. Finally, they'd reached another door. This one was easier to open. Behind it was a huge room with beds, tables, and many other things. But no people. "Where is everyone?" Zarthak asked. Then the camera showed something on a table, a small model of a Vexaran ship, cut open to show its parts. Next to it were drawings of Vexaran bodies, with notes pointing to weak spots in their armor and skin. "What is this?" Zarthak asked. The camera moved to show more tables. They had weapons, small ones that would fit in a child's hands. There were books and tablets with information about Vexarans, everything a young human would need to learn how to fight them. "They left in a hurry," Officer Drell said. "We must have just missed them." Zarthak hit the wall hard. "Find them. They can't be far." But the humans were already far away. As soon as the alarm had sounded, telling them that aliens were near, everyone in Sanctuary Site Echo had moved to the emergency tunnels. These led to other safe places. It was all part of the plan. That night, Mevlak, the Vexaran scientist, came to Zarthak with new information. "Sir, I've been studying what we found," he said. "The humans are teaching their young everything about us. How to fight us. How to kill us. This is not normal." Zarthak looked at pictures from the empty sanctuary site. "In our culture, young ones fight each other. The weak die. Only the strong survive to become adults. Humans are different," Mevlak said. "They protect all their young. They teach them. And now they're teaching them to destroy us." For the first time since coming to Earth, Zarthak felt afraid. What kind of species sacrifices adults to save the young? What kind of species plans a war that the next generation will fight? Mevlak had no answer. Neither did any Vexaran. They had never seen anything like humans before. 1 year had passed since the Vexarans took over Earth. In that year, they had found 3 more sanctuary sites, but all were empty when they got there. The humans always seemed to know they were coming and escaped in time. In Sanctuary Site Alpha, the largest one hidden deep under the Australian desert, Colonel Rivera met with leaders from all resistance groups. 20 men and women sat around a large table. "It's time," Rivera said. "The children are ready. Our plan is ready." Captain Ryan Cooper nodded. "My teams can attack these 10 control centers at the same time." He pointed to red dots on a map. "That will confuse them. And my people inside their bases will help," Lisa Nguyen added. She now led all spies working in Vexaran buildings. Dr. Phillips spoke next. "The oldest children, those 16 and up, are trained and ready to fight. The younger ones will stay safe until it's over." Colonel Rivera looked at all of them. "Tomorrow, we take back our world." That night, Lily Carter couldn't sleep. Tomorrow she would join the fighters. At 14, she was young, but she had shown great skill with computers and Vexaran technology. "Are you scared?" Ben asked, sitting next to her. "A little," Lily admitted, "but I'm more excited. For a year, we've been hiding and learning. Now we can fight back." In space, Commander Ward gave final orders to her team on Watchpoint Station. "The virus is ready," she told them. "When we send it to their ships, their weapons will stop working for 10 minutes. That's all the time our fighters will have." Her team had worked for months on this computer virus. They had tested it many times. It had to work. On his command ship, Zarthak felt uneasy. Something was wrong, but he didn't know what. Earth seemed quiet. The humans worked without complaint, but sometimes he caught them smiling when they thought no one was looking. "Sir," Officer Drell said, entering the room. "Supreme Leader Korzath's new battle group will arrive tomorrow." "Good," Zarthak said. "With more ships, we can search the entire planet if needed." Suddenly, alarms sounded all over the ship. "What's happening?" Zarthak demanded. "Attack, sir. Humans are attacking our bases in many places at once," Drell shouted. Zarthak ran to the main control room. Screens showed fighting in cities across Earth. Human resistance fighters were attacking Vexaran positions everywhere. Send troops to all attack sites, Zarthak ordered. Crush them quickly. But as his forces moved to fight the humans on the ground, a new alarm sounded. Sir, our computer systems are under attack, a technician yelled. Something is getting into our network. Zarthak watched in horror as his ship's screens went blank one by one. The weapons control panel shut down. The engine controls froze. What is happening? He roared. No one could answer. The Vexaran technology that had seemed so superior to Earth's was now failing all at once. As Zarthak's ship drifted powerless in space, small human ships appeared from hiding places on the moon and behind space stations. They moved toward the Vexaran fleet, firing weapons that shouldn't have hurt the alien ships, but did because their shields were down. On Earth, doors opened in the ground, in mountains, and in forests. From sanctuary sites around the world, older teenagers and young adults emerge. They carried weapons designed to fight Vexarans. They wore armor made to protect against alien technology. In Australia, the largest door of all opened. From Sanctuary Site Alpha came thousands of trained fighters. Leading one group was Lily Carter, carrying a device she had helped create. It sent out high-pitched sounds that hurt Vexaran ears, but humans couldn't even hear. Zarthak watched from his powerless ship as the human counterattack unfolded. Every screen that still worked showed the same thing. Humans of all ages, but many of them young, fighting with perfect knowledge of Vexaran weaknesses. It was a trap, he whispered. They never surrendered. They were preparing, all this time. As Vexaran ships exploded around him, Zarthak finally understood what the humans had done, and why they would win. Zarthak stood in the broken control room of his ship. Smoke filled the air. Lights flickered on and off. Many of his crew were dead or hurt. Through the windows, he could see Earth below and the battle happening all around. Human ships, smaller than Vexaran vessels but moving faster, attacked the alien fleet. More than half of Zarthak's ships were already destroyed or damaged. The virus that shut down their weapons had only lasted 10 minutes, but that was enough time for the humans to gain the upper hand. A loud noise came from outside the control room. The doors burst open. 5 humans rushed in, weapons ready. 4 were adults. The 5th was younger, a boy who looked about 17. He had a serious face and moved with confidence. "Commander Zarthak," the boy said, "my name is Jake Williams. You are now our prisoner." Zarthak looked at the human youth with surprise. "You are just a young one. How are you leading this attack?" Jake stepped closer. "I'm old enough to fight for my world. We all are." On Earth, battles raged in every city and town. The Vexaran soldiers were strong, but they were confused and surprised. They had never expected such a well-planned attack. In Chicago, Lisa Nguyen led a group that took over the alien headquarters. In London, Captain Ryan Cooper's team captured the Vexaran Command Center. And in Sydney, Australia, thousands of young fighters from Sanctuary Site Alpha pushed the aliens back to their landing ships. Lily Carter ran through the streets with her sound device. When she turned it on, nearby Vexarans fell to the ground, holding their ears in pain. This made them easy targets for the fighters behind her. "Keep moving," she shouted to her team. "The landing pad is just ahead." From space, Commander Ward watched the battles on Earth. Her screen showed blue dots for human forces and red dots for Vexarans. The blue dots were winning in most places. "Commander," one of her crew called, "new ships are coming. They must be the reinforcements from the Vexaran homeworld." Ward's heart sank. Just when victory seemed close, new enemies were arriving. She quickly sent a warning to Earth. On Zarthak's damaged ship, Jake Williams got the message through his radio. He looked at the alien commander. "Your reinforcements are too late," Jake said. "We've already taken most of your ships. We know how to beat yours now." Zarthak stared at the young human. I don't understand your species. Why would you hide your young ones instead of fighting with all your forces from the beginning? Jake's eyes were hard. Because we think long-term. Adults can die if it means children survive. That's how humans have always lived. For the first time, Zarthak truly understood. While Vexorans let their young fight and die, only caring about the strongest, humans protected all their children and prepared them for the future. You took their children, Zarthak whispered. You took their children and made them into warriors who know all our weaknesses. No wonder we are doomed. Jake nodded. You never had a chance. Not really. Even if you had killed every adult human on the first day, we would have still fought back eventually. Zarthak turned to the window as the new Vexoran ships arrived. Using his commander's code, he sent them a message. Supreme Leader, we have failed. These humans protect their young at all costs and prepare them to continue the fight. If we stay, we are doomed. Not today, maybe not tomorrow, but eventually. They will never stop. As battles continued on Earth, Lily's team reached the alien landing pad. Dr. Phillips and Colonel Rivera led forces that captured Vexoran supply centers. And in space, Jake Williams took control of Zarthak's ship. The tide had turned. Humans, young and old together, were taking back their world. And the Vexorans were learning a hard lesson. Never underestimate a species that values its children above all else.